Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a quick February wrap-up and statistics video. I did something very similar to this last month in January, but this month I was kind of hoping to not just show you the numbers for this month, but kind of compare them to last month, and I'll continue to do this throughout the year, compare my months to the previous months, and I think it'll be fun to see how it differs from month to month. I don't know if any of you noticed or not, but I did not post a weekly wrap-up this past week because I was watching a ton of movies instead and didn't really read much of anything, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in my upcoming weekly wrap-up, which I'm going to do this week. In a couple days, you'll see a weekly wrap-up for everything from last time that I made one until now, and there really isn't that much to show. It's like 2 weeks, but I really didn't read that much in those 2 weeks because I was watching a lot of movies instead. But yeah, I didn't feel the need to post one last week. But real quick, usually in my weekly wrap-ups I do this, but since I didn't post one this past week, I'll do it now. Just wanted to give a quick shout out and a quick thank you to Giselle and I's Patreon producers. They help and support us, all of the channels that we make through Patreon. We have several generous people supporting us on Patreon. If you yourself would like to become a Patreon producer, then feel free to check out our Patreon. There's several different perks on there that you can choose from. And if not, then I would just thank you so much for being here, for watching. Anyway, I've recently gotten over 6,000 subscribers on this channel, which is pretty freaking amazing. I've been here for a little over 3 years now, which is just really cool to see that I'm now at 6,000, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where else this channel grows to by the end of the year. So without further ado, we'll get into some of the numbers for this past month. This past month I did read and finish 18 books. Last month I read 17, which means I am at a total of 35 now. I do have this thing back here that says 33 at the moment. I usually mark this off on my weekly wrap-up, and I'll do that when I actually make the next weekly wrap-up. So it's still going to say at 33, but I am currently at 35. 6 of those books were fantasy, 5 were urban fantasy, 4 were like mystery, thriller, horror-esque, 1 was steampunk, 1 was like literary fiction, and 1 was nonfiction. So that's pretty interesting. It's definitely a little bit different than last month, where I actually had a lot more science fiction and about the same amount of fantasy, but definitely a lot more science fiction. And this next month, I'm hoping will also be a little bit better balance of science fiction and fantasy. Apparently, I didn't read any science fiction in February, which I didn't really realize, but I'll definitely be making up for that in March because there's a lot of science fiction that I already know I'm going to be reading in March. So, and then so 15 of the books were by male authors, and 3 of them were by female authors. This is a little bit different than last month. Last month, I had 12 male, 4 female, and 1 that was from both. So slightly less balanced, although I already know for a fact that the next 4 books, well, I should say the first 4 books of March are all by female authors, which is interesting. I mean, I haven't finished all these yet, but I do know that these are the first 4 of March. So already doing better this month than last month with that. As far as protagonists go in those books, 2 were female, 9 were male, and 6 were both. In comparison to last month, I had 5 male, 4 female, and 8 both. So, I mean, definitely the balance is also a little bit off on that, but I think that'll definitely change next month as well. And then this month, I read 8 physical books and 10 audiobooks, which actually is more balanced than last month, where I read 5 physical and 12 audio. So I'm kind of getting closer to evening them out a little bit. I would love to continue to raise that quite a bit. I honestly, the last week, or actually all throughout February, I kind of had a hard time getting through stuff quickly. I think I could have gotten through more of both in February, but I did not, especially towards the end of February with audiobooks, because I was watching lots of movies instead of listening to audiobooks when I usually would listen to audiobooks. So, and then all 8 of those physical books were arcs. Every single one of the books that I read that was a physical book was an arc. And actually, I reviewed a total of 7 books in February. A couple of those were carryovers from January, and I actually have a few carryovers for next month. I have 4 that, actually no, 3 now, because I wrote this list. I wrote out these numbers before I posted the Kings of the Wild review. So 3 reviews waiting to go up sometime, hopefully very soon, to kind of catch myself up with those. And then I read a total of 6,919 pages, which is actually a lot less than last month. So it's kind of misleading when you see that I read 1 book more. I read more pages last month. I read more bigger books last month. This month, some of the stuff I read was quite a bit shorter. And I do include, when I talk about this, I include what the pages would be if those audiobooks I listened to were physical books. So I include the pages of an audiobook that I listen to in my total page count, because it just makes sense to me, and I like seeing that. I like seeing those two things combined, like physical and audio, the pages for all combined. And last month, the pages for all combined was 8,732, and that went down to a little under 7,000. So I read more than 1,000 more pages last month, which is certainly interesting. I did get through a couple big books this month, so it's not too big of a deal. I'm sure next month in March will be better because it's a longer month, and I already know I have quite a few big books to dive into. So I think that's pretty much it for the numbers and statistics. Last month I also showed a favorite physical book and a favorite audiobook that I had. And my favorite physical book was definitely, without a doubt, With Blood Upon the Sand by Bradley P. Beaulier. This is the sequel to 12 Kings of Shoutout, which I did just post a review for this one. A review for this one will be going up this week sometime. I'm still working on it. Have not had the chance to post it just yet, but it will be going up very soon. This is definitely my favorite. It takes everything from 12 Kings and Shoutout and just makes it so much better. 12 Kings and Shoutout is a little bit slow. It has it's a very high learning curve. It has lots of slow moments trying to get you to learn about the world and all the different characters and all the different situations happening. And this one really takes what you learn in the first book and really builds on it. And then this one is just non-stop, action-packed, super intriguing, tons of fun, with just really great characters and amazing world building. And overall, this is just a fantastic epic fantasy series that I highly suggest you check out. Definitely check out my review for the first book if you have not already, and see if this is something that you would want to dive into. If you have already read the first book and you haven't gone on to the second book yet, if you have any reservations especially, definitely give this a shot. It is better than the first book and actually feels quicker to get through, even though it's a little bit longer. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed it quite a lot. And my favorite audiobook for this past month was, without a doubt, Deadbeat by Jim Butcher. I think this was the seventh. It's the seventh Dresden Files book, and definitely my favorite of the series so far. Tons of huge things happening in this specific book that kind of turned the series in a direction that just seems really cool. And I've already read a couple books after the seventh one already, and you can kind of see the effects the seventh one has had. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see where the series goes. If you have not picked it up already, I highly suggest you do so. I'll continue to talk about it on here as I continue to read it. I plan on catching up with the series in the next few months, because I read 3 of them this past month. I read 3 Dresden Files books. I just read them back to back because I could not stop listening to them because they're so much fun. And yeah, I highly suggest them. Check them out. I think that's pretty much it for this. Hopefully that was interesting. If you like this kind of thing, then I'll continue to do it. People last month said they liked it and said they would love to see me continue to do it. I hope you like the sort of graphics that I put in here. People said that might be interesting and help them visualize, and hopefully that's continues to be the case. I'm going to continue to do that. It'll kind of grow as the months go on. I'll kind of keep doing comparisons. I didn't really have, some of them you saw comparisons from month to month, some of them I didn't make a graph for last month, obviously, so you'll see next month, you'll see kind of more progressions and stuff like that as the months go on. So I think that's pretty much it. I think it's all I wanted to talk about. I would love to know how many books you got through in February. Was it better than January? Is your reading amounts going up or down? Are you satisfied with where you are so far in the year? Satisfied with your last month of reading in comparison to January? I would love to hear all this kind of stuff. Definitely let me know what your numbers are. I would love to hear about them. Let me know what your favorite books this past month were. I hope you'll check out some of the reviews that I posted this past month. I'm really proud of all of them, and I'm going to continue to post lots of reviews for all these books that I'm reading, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later with more.